Yo, ladies and gentlemen, Joe here. So is Joelicious Sweet Sunday. Today, we're gonna make something really sweet, really nice, really authentic as always. We're gonna make Anthill Cake. Interesting, exciting, Joelicious. Stay tuned. So to make the Anthill Cake, we're gonna need 2 cans of condensed milk boiled for 2.5 hours. Now, very important folks, we will need the ones that come in with the lid, with the solid lid. You don't want to use the ones that come in with the easy peel opener. You want to take off the, peel all the labels and boil these in a pot filled with water to the top. This should be covered all the way on the low to medium for 2.5 hours. And let them, after that, let them sit there and just chill in the pot. We will need 2/3 of a cup of milk, 4 eggs, baking soda, salt, vinegar to neutralize baking soda, and flour. We will also need some cocoa powder mixed with powdered sugar, 50-50, or you can use just plain cocoa powder for sprinkling the cake. We will also need 2 baking trays, 17 by 11 inches, lined with parchment paper. Then we need a grater, or I'm going to be using a grinder, which is easier. And a pound of butter, salted or unsalted depending on your choice, on your taste. But if you use salted butter, do not use salt in the recipe. That's 4 sticks of butter. We're going to melt the butter, just like that. Let it chill a little bit to room temperature. Then we're going to add milk. Stir it. Then we're going to add the eggs, one by one. Mix it well. Then we're going to add salt, just a little bit, and baking soda. What we're going to do, we're going to take just a little bit on the tip of the teaspoon and we're going to neutralize it with vinegar, white vinegar. The reason why I'm doing this because I don't want to have a heartburn. So basically, neutralize the soda a little bit. Just like that. It's a good old trick that I use all the time. So today, the heat is gone. Tonight the heat is gone and we're going to start the oven at 375, 350 to 375. I'll do 375 because I like the crumbs that we're going to be baking. I like them darker color. I like them dark brown. This gives the cake the unique texture and the unique taste, if you would. So at this point, the mix looks just like that, nice and yellow. Now we're going to start adding flour, a little bit at a time. So we want to continue adding flour and mixing until the dough is really thick. So we got a dough ball like this. It's nice and thick. I'm gonna add just a little bit more flour to just give it a touch. So as a result, we've got a dough ball like this. Pretty big. Doesn't stick to your hands. It's pretty heavy. So we're gonna split it in half. One half of the dough is gonna go on one tray, and the other goes on the other. They don't have to be perfectly split in half. You just use one part for one tray and the other one for the other. Now, if you guys want to make just one recipe, this is a double portion. If you want to do a smaller cake, just split all the ingredients in half. We're gonna start grinding the dough. One chunk at a time. We're gonna grind right onto the baking tray. Spread it evenly on the tray. Just like that. So we have two baking trays filled with the dough, shredded or ground. We're going to put them in the oven and bake them to golden brown to darker brown. I prefer darker brown because it gives the cake a really specific taste. That's my secret. So we're going to check in about 20 to 25 minutes and keep checking until it's ready. Alright guys, it's been about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, the crumbs are done. We're going to take them out. They'll be this perfect color. Nice and brown, not too burnt. Now we're going to have to chill them to room temperature. Alright folks, after the trays chilled down a little bit to room temperature, the crumbs are nice and warm. Actually on the colder side now. I realized that I slightly overboiled the condensed milk, so 2 hours would have been perfect. So at this point, because the condensed milk is really thick, I'm not going to use all the crumbs. The fix would be either to boil another can of condensed milk on top of these guys, or adding another can of unboiled condensed milk. But I'm going to just use the crumbs enough to make it not too thick. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to break the crumbs. Into the bowl. These are already done, so I'm just going to put them in the bowl. So basically I'm going to use 2/3 of the crumbs at this point. If I need more, I'll add a little more later. But this should be fine for right now. Just like that. Now the condensed milk goes right over the crumbs. Nice and solid chunk. If we use all the crumbs at this point, the cake will come out a little bit on the dry side. We don't want that. It's still going to taste great, but it's going to be dry. I like it rather a little bit moist. Because it's a cake, not Rice Krispies. So we're just gonna slowly coat all the crumbs with condensed milk, which is basically caramel at this point. Want to mix it real good. So that all the crumbs are coated. It's a little bit messy, but it's okay. The result should be outstanding. And Joelicious. So as a result, we got mixture like this. Now the most exciting part. I'm sure all of you have seen an anthill. Well, this is what we're making. We're just dumping everything on a cutting board. I'm using a glass cutting board that I have. Gently dumping it onto the surface. Like that. And after that, we're just shaping it. Shaping it up. It's a little bit messy, but the result is well worth it. So we're going to take a piece of paper towel and just wipe off all the extra crumbs. Now all we gotta do is sprinkle the top with powdered sugar and powdered cocoa. And put the cake in the fridge. Next day, in about 24 hours, it's gonna taste perfect. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait till Joe is here to do Joelicious kitchen, and we're gonna test it. We're gonna taste it then as a dessert. How is that? So you've seen Joelicious Sweet Sunday. Joe is here. See you soon.